Coming up next, I'm going to review one of the great vetiver fragrances from Chanel in the last 10 years, I would say. And this is Sycamore, coming up next. Welcome back, everybody, to Joel the Nose, coming to you, make sure I'm in the video there, from downtown Miami. And the reason why I'm doing this today is showing you kind of cool sights of Miami, like I try to show to you today. Downtown, one of the most iconic buildings of all Miami history, built in the 80s, originally called the Centrust Building because it was the Centrust Bank. I think it was called Centrust US Trust. It went down, it went bankrupt, it was a huge scandal. Allegedly was built with a lot of the 80s drug and cocaine money that was everywhere during the 80s in Miami. Crazy, the Cocaine Cowboys, you've probably seen it, but such a cool building. And it lights up at night, all different colors. You maybe have seen it in pictures. Why are we here today though? We are here today to discuss something that came out actually in 2016, and that is, make sure you can see it, Sycamore from Chanel. This is a fragrance that, although I've smelled a few times over the years, I've really just now grown to love it and wear it quite a bit. If you love vetiver and you love kind of that balsamic, aldehyde note that Chanel is famous for, Sycamore is the fragrance for you. What am I gonna say about this? Again, came out in 2016. It's an eau de parfum. The original one was actually an eau de toilette. This new version is an EDP. It was, of course, the perfumer behind this is their in-house perfumer, Jacques Polge. But if you hear the story or the background story, it was inspired by Coco Chanel, her childhood, and the fall and the autumn weather in the woods, and that's what was inspired this fragrance. And you can kind of see it. The color looks very autumn, very woodsy. Look at the juice on that. This is a 75 milliliter bottle. It retails for $200. You can get a 200 milliliter bottle for $350. So take your pick, much bigger discount if you go for the bigger bottle. The top notes on this are pink pepper, juniper berries, and of course the famous Chanel aldehydes. At the base, at the heart, you have vetiver, cypress, and violet. And then in the base, you have sandalwood, balsamic notes, cedar, vanilla. This is, what am I gonna say about it? If you love vetiver and you love woody notes, this is your fragrance. It is classic Chanel. Right at the opening, and let me spray it here. I've been wearing it now for many days. You get this kind of pink pepper spicy opening, little tinge of sweetness, but a lot of the aldehydes from Chanel, and the vetiver is right there at the beginning. So this is not a vetiver that hides in the base, like a lot of fragrances use a little bit of vetiver in the base. This is a vetiver that's front and center right from the beginning of the fragrance. You get this kind of yellow woody feel, almost like a yellow, like a yellow wood. Slightly spicy, but also kind of smoky and kind of mossy, and also a little bit of that tobacco feel to this. So there's a lot going on here. When you look at the notes and you think this is not very complicated, and Chanel is not known for super complicated fragrances. They're known for kind of very, I guess, I don't want to say conservative, but very traditional fragrances, French fragrances. But this is from, by the way, the exclusive line. This is not like, Chanel, Allure, Homme, or Bleu de Chanel, which is on their designer level. This is their exclusive level. That it is just exquisite. It is very masculine and a very unique opening, I think, for Chanel. A little bit more unique than normal. It's also a little bit more masculine than typical Chanel fragrance. And just take a look, classic bottle, right? That's the top, the Chanel top. So the dry down, this is not going to be an overly complex dry down. It's going to dry down into this very well blended, vetiver fragrance, vetiver notes, and that balsamic gives it a powdery note, mixes well with the aldehydes, and that, I would say, cedar vanilla comes in the dry down, which gives a little bit of a sweetness, but also gives it that woody note along with the cypress. So this is, again, not going to be overly complicated, but if you like Chanel fragrances that are well done, well blended with extremely high quality materials, this is your fragrance. Again, and if you love vetiver, I got to add this to next time I do a top 10 vetiver list. This is going to be on it for sure. It's going to be, I would say, in my top 5 vetiver fragrances of all time that I wear. Sycamore, classic. I would say this is a modern classic. This is, again, not a fragrance that's been around for, well, you're talking now 5 years. So it's only 5 years old, but I'd say this is a modern vetiver classic. It's that good, guys. So that's my story. I'm sticking with it. JoelTheNose, again, Sycamore, Chanel, exclusive line, vetiver, aldehyde, Chanel, powdery, woodsy fragrance, warm, more masculine. I would say this, ladies, probably not going to be the best fragrance, even though it's technically unisex. To me, this leans much more masculine than it does feminine. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing to those who have done so. And of course, thank you all for taking your time to watch this video. I'll be back soon with another one. Peace and love.